trying to process. Because he knew what happened to him. But he was trying to figure out what happened to what happened to him. You'll catch that later. He knew what happened to him. But he was trying to process what happened to what happened to him. He was dead. But he's trying to figure out what happened. Okay, he was sitting in the room waiting for the resurrection morning. But now he's back at a table with food in front of him. He was sleeping in the bosom of Abraham. But now he's sitting next to Jesus. And he's trying to process what's going on. Okay, let me put it to you like this, church. There's some of us who've had some things that happened to us. Not only are we trying to process it, there are other people who's trying to process it. Because if you look at the text, there was a lot of people who came to the house, but they didn't come for Jesus' sake. They came to see the man who was dead and was resurrected from the grave. See, there are some people who know what happened to you, but when they see where you are now, and they see that they can't tell what you've been through, there are some people who are looking at you, trying to figure out what happened to what happened to you. Can I tell you what happened? Jesus is what happened. Jesus is the one who made the difference. And I wish I had somebody here that can look in your past and be honest with yourself and others that you had some things that should have taken you out of here, but because of Jesus, you survived. There's some things happened to you, you should have lost your mind, but you still got the sanity. You're not cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You know what happened? Because Jesus is the one who made the difference. Anybody here has ever had people to write you off, but the Lord wrote you right back in? I wish I had some survivors here that every time you come to church, you ought to have an analytical moment where you look back over your life and realize that you would not be where you are if it had not been for the Lord on your side. Y'all don't know, but you're looking at somebody that the Lord has brought back to life. You're sitting next to somebody who the Lord has preserved. You're sitting next to somebody that if you talk to some people, they might just tell you, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to try to figure out what happened to what happened to them. Is there anybody here that can celebrate a but Jesus moment? Do I got some COVID survivors tonight that's got a testimony that millions didn't make it, but I'm one of those who did. He's looking. Come on, all right. Analyticalization. Look at somebody and tell them, I'm going to survive, I'm going to survive. Shows different folks. Martha, she's working. Yeah, she's working in appreciation. Lazarus is wandering in analyticalization. But watch this. Mary is worshiping in adoration. She's worshiping. She's worshiping in adoration. Look at verse number 3. Text says, then took Mary a pound of ointment, spiked it, very costly, anointed the feet of Jesus, wiped his feet with her hair. In his presence, she realized the necessity around the table was to worship him. She wasn't worried about no food. No. She wasn't worried about Lazarus. She saw he was living. She went back to Jesus. She anointed his feet with oil, very costly. Judas lets you know it's 300 pence. Years worth of wages. But she gives him all that she has in her worship. She just doesn't just pour it. she wipes her feet, that means she had to get down on her knees. And watch this, church. She took her glory. She didn't have no cars, cash, clothes, or commodities. But she took the best thing that God gave her and she used it, watch this, to wipe his feet with her hair. She surrendered to him. She served him. Watch this, church. Only because to worship him for who he is and who he meant to her. I wish I had somebody that can testify of what the Lord means to you. Sometimes in our worship, we can't be in a season of haughtiness where we are caring about who's watching us or whose opinion about how we worship. Sometimes when we come to the table, when it's spread, we gotta be willing to give the Lord the best that we have to give him. I wish I had some help here that can testify that you've been through too much not to worship him. You survived too much. She wiped his feet with her hair. Because nobody knew her story. Nobody knew the things that she had been through. Nobody knew her pain. Or even what she had to go through to get to that room that time. But ladies and gentlemen, I come to tell you that sometimes you will never understand somebody else's praise. Don't ever try to figure it out. Just make sure that your worship, it is for real. See, you can worship him when you're broke. Because even though you're broke, you could be broken. Yeah, you can worship him, when you're sick. Because even though you're sick, you could be dead. Can I talk to the true worshipers in here? This is a season that we must worship him. And they that worship him must do it in spirit and in truth. Martha, she's worshiping in adoration. Yeah, we're going to get ready to get out of here now. As Martha, is working, you have Lazarus who's watching. You have Mary who's worshiping. But watch this. You also have Judas who's watching in aggravation. He's watching. He's in aggravation. He looks at her worship. And he puts his opinion on her worship.
My Lord.
He says that she should have just sold that. She wasted that. Could have put the money in the bag. But see, Judas was not coming from a mindset of a helpful person.
Well.
His response came from the mind of a thief. And this is why you have to be careful of getting in your feelings about someone else's opinion about you. Because some people, and you got to also be careful about the advice that you take from people. Because everybody does not speak from a mind that's going to be a blessing to your life. Some people will give you advice out of their own aggravation. Y'all don't want to talk back to me. Come on. Some people will tell you what they want to tell you, not to help you, but because of their jealousy. Be careful. He was looking in aggravation, and you cannot get in your feelings about what people say about you. You can't get in your feelings about how people talk about your worship. Matter of fact, you can't even get in your feelings about what people say in general, because I've learned that no matter what you do, how you do it, you're going to always encounter somebody that's going to have something negative to say. I mean, if you cut your hair, you're trying to be too young. If you let it grow, who you think she is? If you lose weight, y'all don't want to talk to me. You sick. If you got too much weight, man, they gonna mess around and have a stroke. They too big. Come on, y'all want to talk back to me? I'm just trying to suggest to you, if you speak to somebody, you flirting with them. But if you don't say nothing at all, you arrogant and you're stuck up. Sometimes you got to learn how to ignore pessimistic people. You look at the text. Jesus didn't really respond to him like that. He said, you talking about the poor. I'm going to be with you all the time. Man, I don't even know what you're talking about. That's how sometimes you got to learn how to respond to pessimistic people. Hey, man, y'all don't want to talk back to me. But if anybody has to put their opinion on your life, sometimes you got to tell them, don't worry about it. Let me just go and give you something to look at. Don't even worry about it. Let me just give you something to look at, something to talk about. I wish I had some help here. You cannot pay attention to pessimistic people. Sometimes you just got to pray for them. Because in the text, Judas was aggravated. He was speaking from the opinion of where he was himself. We're going to get out of here. I've held you too long. God bless you. Amen. Jordan Temple. May the Lord bless you. Bless you real good. Well, I've held you too long. But as we get out of here, Judas was looking at aggravation, ladies and gentlemen. But the chief priest church was weighing in animosity. It was looking at Jesus. Because end of chapter 11, they decided that they needed to put him to death. Come on, Trey, Rick, y'all give me a C. I'm going to get out of here now. They figured out they did not want to. Couldn't leave him alive. But as they noticed that Judas was looking at him, made mention of what he called a wasted worship. The chief priest was in the background. But they were looking in animosity. Because they saw how so many people had come around the house. And they came to see Lazarus, who was the one who's brought back to life from Jesus. And they suggested that if we put Jesus to death, we got to also kill Lazarus. They looked at how they saw, yes, Lord, Lazarus was alive. And so many people came around and saw his testimony. Yes, and those who were with the chief priest had decided, yes, Lord, that we have to put Lazarus to death also. Yes, my Lord, but I've come by to suggest you now, as I leave you here, if they're going to kill Lazarus, they got to also find a blind Bartimaeus, for the Lord open his eyes. They're going to kill Lazarus. They got to find that woman Can I get a witness? If they're going to heal Lazarus, they gotta go find Jairus' daughter, who Jesus brought back to life. Can I get a witness that knows if they're gonna heal Lazarus, they gotta also find that widow woman and her son, who Jesus touched the casket in the name, and the boy got up and walked. Yes, my Lord, in their morning to heal Lazarus. Can I get a witness? Yes, my Lord, they gotta find those who witnessed Jesus walking on the water. But I'm coming to tell you, they can't stop right there. They gotta find the blind man. Yes, my Lord, who Jesus spit on his eyes. Good God Almighty, but can I tell you, my testimony in their calling to heal Lazarus, they gotta find in relief. They gotta kill me too, 'cause I got a testimony of how good the Lord has been, and I wish I had one somebody that can testify that you too have a testimony. Look at somebody that's by you now and say, neighbor, you don't know my story. You don't know what I've been through. But what I can tell you is that Jesus made the difference. Can I get one that never Lord will come? Can I get two that know He brought you through? Can I get three that because you're here, you've been set free? Can I get four that know He opened doors? Can I get five that know because of Him, you're still alive? Yes, sir. Can I get six that know there's no problem that God can fix? Can I get seven that's on your way to heaven? Can I get eight that know He's never too late? Can I get nine that know He'll show up on time? But can I get 10 know He did it before? He'll do it again. That's got a praise that you gotta let out when you look back over your life and you see how far the Lord has brought you. You could have been dead, you should have been dead, but the Lord just help me to you? Have you been good to you? I said, have you been good to you? I said, have you been good to you? Come on, give him some praise. Come on, give him some glory. Come on, give him some hallelujah. Look at somebody and say, neighbor, I'm not going to wait until the battle's over. I'm going to shout. Just another number. Tragedy in my secret. No least thing to be. To pay by the power. Keep on keeping me. I wanna say. me. If you will only trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Won't you trust him tonight? Just give him your life. You're out of church, out of Christ. He's with us. Won't you come? If you're virtual, there's ways that you can join. In person, we want you to come. Won't you come? If you, Lord, trust me. If you, oh, won't you come? Won't you come? I'm trying to move on. This is what he said. He said, I'll fight your battles. I'll fight your battles. Won't you come? I'll fight your battles if you will only trust me. Won't you come? Trust me. Trust me if you will only